Survival games have exploded over the past decade. They challenge players' wits, endurance, and probably the most obvious, their survivability. Whether it is surviving encounters with ferocious monsters or battling the elements, survival games can keep players engaged for hours on end. That is why in this video, we're looking at the best survival games of all time, starting with an all-time classic, Minecraft. Minecraft has not only shaped the survival genre, but also allowed players to use their full imaginations and build whatever their hearts desired. While Minecraft's survival mechanics were pretty straightforward, it was an easy pickup that engaged players of all ages. With these simple mechanics, Minecraft allowed for endless creativity, where players could construct their bases, gather food and build farms, and ultimately survive against hordes of monsters or other players. Don't Starve. Don't Starve's Tim Burton-esque style adds charm to its challenging survival mechanics. While it is definitely one of the more visually unique survival games on this list, it is wholeheartedly a survival classic with the main objective in the game's title, Don't Starve. Don't Starve is unique because based on time of day, players will have to shift their playstyle. While daytime promotes exploration and gathering, nighttime is where the gothic art style truly comes alive. At night, players must avoid various monsters while ultimately trying to keep their sanity. In addition, Don't Starve Together should also be mentioned as it expands on the world and is a great option for people looking to play with friends. DayZ. DayZ is definitely the survival game with one of the biggest learning curves on the list. DayZ encapsulates the survival elements of a zombie post-apocalypse perfectly, and is one of the reasons it landed on this list. One of the most interesting aspects of DayZ is that survival isn't just about surviving the zombies that players come into contact with. Additionally, players can face threats from other survivors, as well as animals and even the environment. No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has transformed from a disappointment into a triumph in the gaming community. In No Man's Sky, players can explore a vast universe, build, survive, and enjoy some pretty breathtaking visuals. Additionally, players can now fight alien factions in space combat as well, which is something that could not be done at the game's launch. Despite its bad start, No Man's Sky has evolved into one of the best survival games out there and is even better with a group of friends. The Forest. Just like many others on this list, The Forest started rough but turned around and emerged as a masterpiece. The Forest is a cooperative horror survival gem and provides an incredibly unique experience. In The Forest, players must survive against a number of animals as well as feral cannibals after being stranded on a remote peninsula following a plane crash. In addition to base building, crafting, and your typical survival game aspects, the story at the core of the game is unique for games in this genre. While there aren't typical missions, players are tasked with finding their son Timmy and exploring the forest as a whole. Subnautica. Survival games are obviously all about survival, but Subnautica brings this theme to a whole new level and forces players to survive in the vast, unending ocean. Subnautica plunges players into the depths of this ocean planet and forces them to survive. In addition, Subnautica also has its own story, with the game's protagonist, Riley, being the sole survivor of a spaceship crash on this aquatic planet. The main objective is to survive and find a way to escape the planet. On the surface, Subnautica may seem like a pretty quaint and easygoing game, but underneath it all, players can attest to the game being more of a survival horror experience. And those are some of the best survival games out there. Thank you so much for watching Game Rant, and don't forget to check out our other lists, guides, reviews, and more. Game on, and we'll see you next time.